Why did the saints resurrect when Jesus died? One of the most mysterious and fascinating moments in the Gospel occurs at the very instant of Christ's death. In the Gospel of Matthew 27 to 51-53, we read something astonishing. The earth shook, rocks split, tombs were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. After Jesus' resurrection, they came out of the tombs and appeared to many in the holy city. Why did this happen? Why would saints rise at the moment Jesus died? What does this mean in Catholic theology? To understand this, we must first understand what happened on the cross when Jesus died. It was not simply a tragic execution, it was the decisive victory over sin, death, and Satan. From the time of Adam's fall, humanity had been separated from God. Even the righteous of the Old Testament, Abraham, Moses, David, and the prophets, could not yet enter heaven. According to Catholic teaching, they awaited redemption in what is traditionally called the bosom of Abraham or the limbo of the fathers. They were saved by faith, but the gates of heaven were not yet open. The death of Jesus changed everything. When Christ cried out, "It is finished," the veil of the temple was torn in two. This veil symbolized the barrier between God and humanity. Its tearing signified that access to the Father had been restored. The sacrifice was complete. The price of redemption was paid. The resurrection of the saints at that moment was a visible sign of Christ's victory over death. In Catholic understanding, Jesus' death was not defeat, it was triumph. By his passion, he destroyed the power of death from within. The rising of the saints was like the first ripple of resurrection power flowing into humanity. It demonstrated that death no longer had absolute dominion. However, Matthew carefully notes something important. The tombs were opened at Jesus' death, but the saints came out after his resurrection. This detail preserves a crucial truth. Christ is the firstborn from the dead. He is the first in glory, the source of all resurrection life. The saints did not rise independently. They rose because of him. The Church Fathers reflected deeply on this mystery. Many believed these saints were righteous figures from the Old Covenant, raised as a testimony that the Messiah had truly come and conquered death. Their appearance in Jerusalem was a proclamation. The age of salvation had begun. Another key Catholic doctrine connected to this event is the harrowing of hell after his death. Before his resurrection, Christ descended to the realm of the dead. This does not mean the hell of the damned, but the abode of the righteous dead awaiting redemption there. Christ announced his victory and liberated the just. The Catechism of the Catholic Church explains that Jesus opened heaven's gates for the just who had gone before him. The resurrection of the saints mentioned by Matthew can be seen as a sign of this liberation. It reveals that Christ's sacrifice was not only forward-looking for future believers but also retroactive, reaching back to redeem the faithful who had died before him. Why did God allow this extraordinary miracle? First, as testimony, the Jewish people longed for signs that the Messiah had arrived. What greater sign could there be than the dead rising? This miracle confirmed that something cosmic had happened. The cross was not an ordinary death, it was the turning point of history. Second, as hope, the resurrection of the saints is a preview of what awaits all who belong to Christ. Catholics profess in the Creed, "I look forward to the resurrection of the dead." The saints rising at Jesus' death foreshadow our own future resurrection at the end of time. It is a pledge that the grave is not the final word. Third, as revelation of Christ's identity. Only God has power over life and death. By causing tombs to open and the righteous to rise, Jesus reveals his divine authority. Even in death, he commands life. Some theologians also suggest that these resurrected saints did not return to ordinary earthly life as Lazarus did, only to die again. Rather, they may have been raised in glorified bodies, participating in Christ's victory in a unique way. The Church has not definitively defined the exact nature of their resurrection, leaving room for theological reflection. What matters is the sign. Death has been defeated. This event also reveals the communion of saints. Salvation is not individualistic. When Christ redeems, he redeems a people. The rising of multiple saints together symbolizes that redemption creates a family united in him, past, present, and future believers connected in one body. Moreover, this moment shows that the cross unleashed divine power precisely where human eyes saw weakness. To the world, Jesus seemed powerless, mocked, beaten, crucified. Yet at that very hour, graves were breaking open. The spiritual realm was shifting. Satan's apparent victory became his defeat. For Catholics, this mystery deepens our understanding of Good Friday. The day is solemn and sorrowful, yet it is also filled with hidden glory. Beneath the darkness at Calvary, resurrection power was already at work. The resurrection of the saints reminds us that Christ's redemption is total. It reaches into the past, transforms the present, and guarantees the future. It affects body and soul. It touches heaven, earth, and the realm of the dead. Ultimately, the question, why did the saints resurrect when Jesus died, leads to a greater truth: because Jesus is Lord of light. His death was life-giving. His surrender brought liberation. His cross shattered the prison of death. And that same power is at work today. Every Mass proclaims the mystery of faith. We proclaim your death, O Lord, and profess your resurrection until you come again. The saints who rose in Jerusalem stand as witnesses to this proclamation, their brief appearance in history echoes into eternity, declaring that Christ's sacrifice was effective, victorious, and world-changing. In the end, this mysterious event invites us to trust. If Christ could open tombs at his death, he can open hearts today. If he could raise the righteous of old, he will raise us also if we remain faithful. The open graves of Good Friday point forward to the empty tomb of Easter Sunday, and they whisper the promise that one day, at the sound of his voice, all who belong to him will rise. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Goodbye.